93 WXRT backstage at Lollapalooza. My name is Jason Thomas. We're joined by Romy Madley Croft of the XX. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us.
Thanks for having me.
We were just talking before we started recording. You mentioned you were just in Hawaii for the first time. How was it? It was
It was amazing, actually. We don't get that much time off at the moment. I mean, we love what we do, so I'm not complaining. But it was amazing to actually have a holiday together as a band, because normally when we're at home we have time off, we all go our separate ways. But we were in Asia doing some festivals, and we had Lollapalooza in Chicago, so it felt like a halfway point for some of those days off, and it was a nice bonding experience.
It's a nice place for a holiday, as you would say. The first thing I wanted to ask you about is something on the new record, the Hall & Oates sample. Was that a Jamie thing? Was that a Jamie idea?
It was a Jamie idea. We all love that song, and it was like a Sunday afternoon. We were in the studio. It was really sunny outside, which sometimes makes it harder to go in the studio.
Yeah.
It's so dark. And so I was playing the Hall & Oates song. It's one of my favourites. And 2 days later, it appeared in On Hold, and that was pretty cool. Wow. I was like, wait, is that what we were? He's just like, yeah. So I love that. I feel always really inspired by the way Jamie can just take songs and reimagine them, and yeah, it's fun.
It's been really nice to see how he's grown as a producer and solo artist, and I do want to ask you about that in a few minutes. The first album came out in 2009, and right off the bat you had massive success. It was an incredible album. It was one of my all-time favorites. Maybe I'm the worst person to do this because I'm kind of a fanboy. So I'm just
thank you.
But did you feel any? Because I know that's a blessing and a curse, right? Having success right off the bat. Some bands work their entire careers and don't have success like that. So, but at the same time, it can be a bit of a burden, right? Living up to it on the second record. Did you feel any of that pressure?
Yeah, I mean, genuinely, we never have thought anyone was going to hear that album. We wrote that very personally and very privately, and obviously we were trying to get things out, and we were playing small gigs, but the reach that it had was insane. And so I think having all these people hear music that was kind of richly really insular and private meant that when we got to the second album, we were thinking, right, how do we want to be as personal, because people were saying to me, but people are going to hear your lyrics now. I'm grateful that I managed to get to a place where I still was writing very personally, but we were definitely, in retrospect, overthinking everything. And I think that I can only say that now, being a bit older, looking back, I think we worried a lot. We were like, what do people like about us? What do we like about us? What makes us who we are? And really kind of hyper-focusing on that a bit. And I still love Coexist. I'm still... It means so much to me, but I think this new album, I See You, we just let go of that worry and just had a bit of fun, which I think was not something that we did so much of on Coexist.
You take so it's been about 4 years between records. Is that because you're perfectionists and you work on the songs over and over and over again, or is that just because that's what time allows?
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, we toured Coexist for quite a long time, and then we took some time off and wrote some songs, and then we did a few more shows. We did this special show at the Armory in New York, which was a very intimate show, and we tested some of the new songs there. We did Performance from the new album, which was incredibly special in my memory because it was such an intimate show, and it really shaped what the song is. And then we did a short tour down to Marfa in Texas, and we recorded there, and then we went to Iceland, and then we went to LA, and then Jamie's album came out, and he went on to do incredible things, and Oliver and I are so proud of him. But honestly, that definitely slowed down our album, because he was gone, and it was difficult at times because we had all this music that we'd been working on, which was kind of just left on hold.
There you go.
There it is. I didn't actually.
That wasn't planned.
That wasn't planned. So it was. But at the same time, I'm so proud of him. It was amazing to see him go and express himself in that way. And then when Oliver and I watching Jamie do that, we were inspired to want to have more upbeat music in our set. Seeing people dance at his shows.
Yeah.
We wanted some of that too.
That's a very that's an interesting dynamic that your band has. It's like, you know, you have this incredible talent in Jamie who does his solo record, which he needed to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then you and Oliver are featured on the record. So it's very XXy, but it's also Jamie's thing too. Yeah. That was an incredible record, and it was an absolute pleasure to hear you guys on it too.
Oh, thank you. I'll let him know.
When you talk about the maturation of the band, like when you were recording Coexist and trying to figure out what people like, you were talking about, you know, what people like and this and that. The maturation of the band, your early 20s to your late 20s, I mean, you're a very different person. I mean, that's obviously affected the music. I mean, I'm sure you feel that and you've noticed that yourself, right?
Yeah. I guess we've kind of grown up in the albums. The first album we wrote from the age of 14 onwards and really represents that time in our lives. And I look back on that album and I really think that I always felt older than I was, but like I felt like I was more wise than I would give myself credit for. Yeah. In some ways, you know, I did some stupid things, but in the things I was talking about, the emotions I was dealing with, actually, you know, feels older than I was, which I like.
You say that you started writing those songs when you were 14, 15, 16, and it doesn't sound like that. Yeah. You sound so wise beyond your years. So you say that, I'm like, oh.
No, it's funny when I think back, I'm like, really, were we that old? But and then I think with Coexist, we were all just trying to. I feel like that was like our university time, even though we didn't go to university. That's sort of, we were at home, we were going out, we were like partying, we were like figuring out how it was to not live at home, just trying to find ourselves a bit and getting a bit confused. And then I think with I See You, it's just about knowing ourselves a bit more, feeling a little bit more settled and less anxious, and just being able to be like, this is how I feel and it's okay, and actually like look at yourself in the mirror and be like, this is what's going on, and deal with it a bit more.
Yeah, no, it's been an absolute pleasure to hear that maturation, that growth. And you talk about growing personally. I know you got married recently.
Oh, yeah, I'm engaged.
Oh, okay, okay. You're going to be married, so that's okay. But yeah, congratulations.
Thank
there.
you.
But yeah, that's one of the many things like you're talking about, that, you know, how people change and grow, and it's just an absolute pleasure having your band in the world. And I think your records are fantastic.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, we just look forward to hearing what you guys put out in the future, and we're just so thrilled to have you here at Lollapalooza. Good luck tonight. You. And thank you so much, Romy, for talking with us.
Thank you very much.
We're 93 WXRT, live from Lollapalooza. I'm Jason Thomas.